Good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Devo Brown here with you. And let's get you some entertainment news. And we're starting with one of the biggest stars in the world, Jennifer Aniston, really opening up about her personal life. This is in a new interview with Allure magazine. She shared her personal IVF story, infertility struggles. For the first time that we've heard her talk about this, and really got personal. She said this, look, I was trying to get pregnant. It was a challenging road for me, the baby-making road. I was going through IVF, drinking Chinese teas, you name it. I was throwing everything at it. I would have given anything if someone had said to me, freeze your eggs, do yourself a favor. But you just don't think about it. Now, Dina said a lot of rumors back in 2005 when she split with Brad Pitt. They were saying that a big part of that was because she couldn't give him a kid. That was literally the words tabloids and magazines were saying. Same thing happening with her split in 2018 with Justin Theroux. Other rumors spreading, she chose her career over having children. And she said that wasn't the case. Those are lies. I wanted to have kids. It just wasn't happening. She also wrote an essay back in 2016 talking about those false pregnancy reports at times. Said we don't need to be married or mothers to be complete. We get to determine our own happily ever after for ourselves. I'm not in the pursuit of motherhood because I feel incomplete in some way. That's not the reason why I do it. And she said, look, she has zero regrets about how things have worked out, but she wanted to set the record straight. I've spent so many years protecting my story about IVF. And she also goes on to say, I feel like I'm coming out of hibernation and I don't have anything to hide. She also talks about social media and her disdain for that and how she's not really good at it. But I think anytime she posts something, it goes viral very quickly. So just some words from Jen Aniston about her struggles and her story. Dee, I know this is something that you are happy to hear her talk about. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely, Dee. When it comes to people assuming things, deeming you selfish, they don't know what you've been through, and I'm so glad she's finally able to share her story, and I loved all of that. It made me feel so sad when she said at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm going to get married again, because we know with Justin Theroux didn't work out either. But she said, when I come home, if I'm having a bad day, I want somebody to talk to and hug and be like, I need support. I want to talk about my crappy days. So you see the real person behind the fame. Now, that being said, when you look at the photos, I'm conflicted, because she also talks about unrealistic beauty ideals put on women. And you'll notice a pattern. So I did a little dive this morning. Jen Aniston, amazing, 53, okay? People are saying it's the Kardashian effect, the long hair, you gotta have the six-pack, you gotta show a lot of skin. Nothing wrong with that. She works out hard, she talks about her diet. Remember, she talked about having only one chip. She allows herself one chip. Or there was a point where when she'd have a glass of wine, she'd choose not to eat her calories that day. So she's extremely disciplined. She has access to chefs. She works out really, really hard. But that adds to the pressures on women. Yes, she's addressed the womb, but we haven't addressed the six-pack outside of it. If you look at Jennifer Lopez, also on a cover right now, also 53 years old, also very fit, it's also saying you gotta have long extensions, maybe some Botox, and maybe a six-pack. Then you're worthy of being put in the spotlight on the cover. Janina's clapping, thank you, because they are blessed with one, good genes, two, a lot of help, cosmetic surgeries, plastic surgeries here and there maybe, trainers and chefs. So what does that say to all these other women who are just trying to live our lives? Then you have Nicole Kidman, also hailed for being this incredible woman in her 50s. She's 55. And again, look what makes the cover. Only when it's 0% body fat, long extensions that emulate a 20-year-old who's thriving, even though they're in menopause, but you need to have chiseled muscles. Every single ounce of your body needs to be chiseled. So we really need to check ourselves about, yes, share your story, but we have to be careful about these beauty ideals we're putting out there, because there's a lot of young, impressionable people who are trying to figure stuff out. And it's like, oh, so I'm only worthy of a magazine if I'm female and in my 50s, if I'm shredded and have 0% body fat. We got to be careful with all that. That's all. I had to get that out. I am very happy she shared her story. I've been judged, Dee. Why doesn't Dina have kids? Everyone knows I love family. I've talked about it on the show. I've struggled with it myself, and there's other things I'll share maybe one day as to why, like the definitive closing of the door for me that happened. But let's not judge each other so much. You're going to say, but you just judged their bodies. I didn't. I'm just saying sometimes we're contributing to an unrealistic beauty ideal when we agree to finally be brave enough to show ourselves on a cover only because we're ripped at 53. That's only deemed cover worthy. I want to see like a little roll, a Spanx, a little, you know what, and I still feel good about myself. You know, you don't have to deprive yourself to be cover worthy.
I could do that if you needed to.
No, you know what I mean?
give you the
Like,
role.
all
I'll
the
give you a few
realness.
roles if you need it.
All the realness, because that's unrealistic too. That's unrealistic
Devo, you want
too.
to follow
do you
that up?
think-
Go ahead. Go ahead, Devo.
Well, I was just going to say, do you think that the message is stronger and clearer if the cover didn't look like the way it did? Like if she
I
was
know,
more covered
'cause
up
then we
and just
buy it.
more, you know what I mean? No, I'm asking.
You're
Yeah,
right.
and I'm just asking about that. Like, do you think, is it a stronger message then?
I think it's showing, look how hot and sexy I could still be in my 50s, which is amazing. But it prescribes to only one look, which is super fit,
Right.
super thin, with maybe some Botox and tucks here and there, and super, super long extensions in my hair, which takes a ton of people to keep going and keep together, which nobody in their right mind has the time to do 1,000 crunches, 2 workouts a day, private chef, macrobiotic, whatever diet du jour. You know, it talks about the smoothie she's drinking and eating 1 chip. Give me the whole bag
I
of
still don't
chips.
believe the one chip story. I got to be honest with you. I still don't believe.
Yeah,
I don't want to jump in with something
that's a
not
little sketchy.
important because
Show me
Dina's message
women
is very
in
important.
all kinds of
Yeah.
shapes,
Yeah.
please,
Yes.
please, 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 please.
No, but you're right. You're
And
right. And
celebrate
sexy
them at
comes
any
in all
age.
forms, right? So
Thank you.
Yes, let's celebrate that for sure.